take a look.
Will do. What's going on, everybody? Afflicted Gamer here, back with another Division video. It's Friday, it's time for the weekly vendor reset. You know what that means, I'll find out what the best items are for sale this week in the Division, whether you're a new player or a veteran like myself. So, if the video is helpful in any way, shape, or form, please drop it a like. It's very much appreciated and it helps the channel grow, and if you're new to it, consider subscribing for more Division content, as I do put these out every single Friday. Down in the terminal, I always call it the hub, but somebody pointed that out last week. Double check this guy, because you do have, if you own one blueprint, it goes across all characters, and it looks like I literally have everything at gear score 256. So, I'm not sure what is there. I kind of wish they would have just left them there and said owned already or something, so that you know what they were selling, but anyway. Exotics for the week. The Historian has 142% headshot damage with competent, trained, and history repeats. You could pick it up if you want to, but this is not a must-buy by any means. Pretty soon, these items will only be available at the vendors. I don't know when that update is coming, but please keep note of that. So if there is something you want, you know, out of these exotics, when there is a good roll, I would pick it up. Centurion, Expert, and Unforgiving. Actually pretty good. You could put that with the Liberator if you want to for the Free Republic talent. Pecan, 20% damage targets out of cover with Predatory, Adept, and Pecan. It's not terrible. You can make use out of that in PvE if you really, really wanted one. The Cassidy, 290 stagger with capable Predatory and Boomstick. I would pass. You would have to optimize that too much. The Liberator, 21% enemy armor damage. Swift, Predatory, Determined. Reroll Swift for something else, and you can make use out of this in PvE, but honestly, I would just use a LVOA-C or Lightweight M4 for the moment. Alright, other than that, let's see. We do have a LVOA-C. 18% enemy armor damage, sustained, deadly, and commanding. If you're brand new to the Division, you don't have a LVOA-C, I would get it for now, just to have one. And then you'd have to reroll sustained or commanding. The choice would be yours, but only get it if you're brand new. Other than that, pass on it. And let's see, anything else good here? I know people still want to see the regular gear, so I will show that. Not too bad of a regular striker mask. It has skill power on it, blind depth resist. If you want one with skill power, pick it up. If not, pass on it. Not too bad of a Lone Star mask. You'd have to optimize that quite a bit. The problem with a lot of this stuff, you know, now is you do have to optimize it. So, pretty decent defense vest. If you want to get one to complete your set, pick this one up. Reroll off the enemy armor, exotic damage resilience, 4 health. Sorry, tongue twister. Specialized backpack. Nope. FireCrest backpack. Not terrible. You get rid of the disrupt resist for ammo capacity if you wanted to, but I would actually pass. Anything good down here? Decent Predator's Mark knee pads. You could change the 1166 electronics into firearms or stamina. Not too bad Hunter's Faith knee pads either for regular gear. Same thing with the Reclaimer braces. The regular stuff for the knee pads seem to be decent. Only buy them if you don't have classifieds and you're trying to complete a set. These are good Tactician Gloves though. If you don't have classified, I would pick these up. 1268 electronics, crit damage, crit chance, and skill haste. Leave them as is, or reroll skill haste if you really wanted to, or reroll crit chance if you really wanted to, and put your weapon of choice in that slot for the weapon damage. And not too bad Final Measure gloves either. So, very good electronics mod, 259. Well, a little bit over middle tier, 259 electronics, and almost 3,000 health. Other than that, the extended mag isn't terrible. Mag size could be a little bit higher. I wouldn't buy it personally, but if you're desperate and you missed out on last week's 120%, you could pick that up if you needed to. Let's move on and find the best of the best. If you make your way upstairs to the armory, there are 2 items for sale. First up, Model 700 Carbon. Not as good as last week's, but still good for PvE. 161% headshot damage with Toxic, Ferocious, and Elevated. Get rid of Toxic for something else if you don't like it. You got yourself a decent Model 700 Carbon. And there is a small grip with 19% critical hit damage, 5% reload speed, and 2.5% stability. I'm actually going to grab a few of these myself. If you have trouble controlling the LVOA-C or the Lightweight M4, well, You know, you might want to go with an angled grip, but if not, that's a great small grip to pick up. And last up in the base of operations, at the gear vendor, there are 2 items for sale. First up, we've got a damage to elites firearms mod, 188 firearms and 3% damage to elites, and a prototype performance mod with 2% pulse critical hit chance. That is a max roll, so if you want to stack up your crit chance, go ahead and pick this up, throw it on your build.
You'll be back one of these days.
I'll see you next Friday, as always. It's a date. Okay, up at Camp Clinton, there's a Snub-Nosed Rhino and an SASG 12 blueprint for sale. Also a Stamina Backpack blueprint for sale. Other than that, I do own everything else. So those are the 2 weapon blueprints. Other than that, if there's any gear mods, electronics, firearms, I already own them. Double check there. Then the vendor that sells the exotics were nothing special. Historian was probably the best one here with Determined and Adept on it, which is nothing special. Centurion has Expert and Unforgiving. I would just pass on all of these. The MP7, because people may be curious, 21% crit chance, Adept, Vicious, and Talented. If you can somehow make that work, by all means go ahead and pick it up. Other than that, everything else is going to cost quite a bit to optimize it, so only pick it up if you have to fill in a build for now. Like the FireCrest mask, 1247 firearms with 3.5% crit chance, blind def resist in the minor, reroll that for something like damage to elites. That's not too bad. Reckless chestplate though is okay, 1231 firearms, 9% exotic damage resilience, 4% all resilience, reroll that for health, and you've got ammo capacity in the minor. You still like Reckless? Go ahead and check that one out if you're interested. I mean, the DeadEye chestplate is not bad. You can get rid of the health on kill for something else. Skill haste, whatever your preference is. 1256 stamina, over 15,000 health. Again, ammo capacity in the minor. Only pick it up if you need to fill in your build. I'm just going to stress that a little bit because there's classified gear. The drop rates are going to be upped very soon. Well, pretty soon according to Massive, so I don't know exactly when, but well, hopefully sooner than later. Hunter's Faith knee pads, again, not too bad. You could just reroll the increased kill XP for damage to elites if you wanted to. The Reclaimer braces, 1184 stamina, bump that into firearms, skill power, ramp up the stamina. You will have to optimize it if you want to keep the health on there though and get a higher value, so the choice is yours. The Banshee Shadow Pads aren't too bad because they do have over 16,000 health, shock resist, bleed resist, disrupt resist, and then you could just ramp up that firearms number. So for regular gear for Banshee, those are not too bad at all. Same thing with the defense knee pads, 1228 stamina, enemy armor damage, keep it or reroll it. You got burn resist, disrupt resist, blind def resist, not too bad. Other than that though, to be completely honest, the striker gloves are good for regular gloves. 1232 firearms, you've got crit chance, assault rifle damage, health on kill, we roll that for crit hit damage, you're good to go. And the Sentry's Call gloves, 1270 firearms, 8% skill haste, 7.5% enemy armor damage, 12% assault rifle damage. Keep them as is or reroll something to get some sort of crit damage on there, and you're good to go for PvE. And then down for the mods, the extended mag is good, 117% mag size, 4% crit damage, 5.5% rate of fire. I would pick that up if you don't have the blueprint or if you don't have a better extended magazine, but other than that, that's everything up here at Camp Clinton.
No big deal. See you around.
See you next Friday, bro. Making your way down to the ward safe house, for those of you that run support builds for your team, there is 6% first aid ally heal prototype performance mod for sale here. 6% is a max roll, so go ahead and pick a few of those up. And at the last call safe house, I was a little iffy with this one. There's a Navy MP5N for sale here, so especially if you're new to the game, pick this one up for now. 22% crit hit chance with Meticulous, Determined, and Ferocious on it. Get rid of Meticulous for something else and you have yourself a good PvE Navy MP5N. Not that I'm trying to lean towards PvE with the gear and whatnot that I'm finding, but that's what I've got so far. But we're not done yet. Okay, making our way into the dark zone. That was everything for sale in the light zone. Don't tell me what to do, lady. I'm trying to make a video. Okay, at West 42nd Street, there's a prototype performance mod for sale here, which is 4% Seeker Mine damage. So for those of you that are a fan of running Seekers, go ahead and pick this up. It is a max roll. One stop up at West 46th Street, he's got a specialized backpack for sale, which is really good. 1258 electronics, over 13,000 health, and 49% ammo capacity. Leave it as is, or if you want to reroll the health for skill power, by all means go ahead. Either way, this is a very good specialized backpack. Up at the West 53rd Street DZ checkpoint, again, we have a prototype performance mod for sale here. This time it's 5.5% first aid self-heal, so if you don't have the max roll of 6%, I would grab a few of these and throw them on your build.
That's fine. Someone else will want this.
Probably. Over on the east side of town at East 31st Street, she's got a black market AK-74 for sale here. 21% enemy armor damage with unforgiving, commanding, and responsive. So you can reroll commanding for something else, and you've got yourself a pretty decent black market AK-74 for those of you that are still a fan of this style of weapon. If you make your way another East 34th Street, he's got a prototype performance mod for sale here. This time it's 4% sticky bomb damage. Once again, that's a max roll, so go ahead and pick a few of these up and throw them on your build, especially if you're running builds like Tactician.
Sooner or later, you'll be back.
I'll be back next Friday. Up at the Park Ave DZ checkpoint, he's got a black market SASG 12S for sale here, 292% stagger. I know that that's a bit on the low side, but responsive, unforgiving, and capable is in the free slot, which means you can reroll that for any talent you wish, use it in PvE or PvP, and then just optimize it to get your stagger up.
I was hoping for a little more consumer.
And for the final stop of the week, which is at the DZ08 safe room, at the gear vendor, she's got one item, and it's a pair of FireCrest knee pads. 1252 stamina, enemy armor damage, which you can keep or reroll for health if you wanted to. Damage to elites, shock resist, and burn resist if you don't have the classified set. This is a great pair of regular FireCrest knee pads. So, sadly, that is everything for sale this week in the division. There wasn't a whole lot. Hopefully next week will be a little bit better, but things are going to change very soon. Again, I'm saying very soon, but soon enough when everything will start to drop all over the place for classified gear. So for those of you that are stuck with the regular gear, pretty soon that won't be as much of an issue. So we'll see how all that goes. Anyways, once again, drop a like on the video if it was helpful at all. It's very much appreciated. Follow me on Twitter at Afflicted Gamer, and the stream times for me to be live here on YouTube are at the end of the video. Other than that, grab whatever you need from this week's vendor reset agents, and I will see you soon in the next video.